of love, because you need to go and minister to those people out there who won't listen to the average person. And you need to speak their language or else they ain't going to listen to you. This is the calling of the church. And that is the glory of God. And when I say the glory of God, I've seen the other side of the glory of God, and I believe that this church is supposed to see it too. It's not just what goes on here, although it's amazing because that's what changes lives and calls people out and sends people out. But the other part is when you see the glory come forth out of the unlovely. When those child soldiers came forward to us, and Andrew was so tired, he had been driving. He was so tired, he just wanted to hide himself inside the vehicle when they would come because he just was so tired. And I would go out and I'd be washing dishes, like a Congolese woman, they wash kind of like this the whole time. I don't know how they do it. Well, I do it with them and my back hurts and I'm young, so. And I was washing and they would come and finally I was so tired and I said, okay. I put everything down and I decided to talk to them. I talked to them, same message, we're not angry with you. We want to hold your hands up. Same message. But since they had come to our base camp, there was only a few of them, maybe 10 of them. And I decided to put my hands on them as I was talking to them and rub them, put the hands on the shoulders, their knees as I was talking and make it very real and touch them. And I felt like it was almost like a mother. I'm not a mother, but I was saying, in my heart, I was thinking, God, let them feel that. I know they haven't felt this in years. And these kids actually began to, when I was, and I believe my words were powerful, but I think it really was the touch that did it. They started hiding their faces. And what was going on is they started crying. Their heart was being so softened by the touch. And to me, that is the glory of God. Because this is a kid who has been taught for years, you do not cry or else we'll kill you. But they were crying. Their hearts were being completely softened. One last thing is, we were with a father. In Congo, it's considered the second most deadliest place to be a woman, specifically a black woman. Very, very dangerous to be a woman there. And we were with a father who was a minister himself. And, since we minister a lot with young people, we had met his daughter and we said, come out with us. Come out to the villages. Come out into those areas. And she had fled the villages herself. Her father said, it's too unsafe for my family. We're going to go to the city and try to be a little bit safer. Educated Congolese man, but the daughter had come to me and said, I want to minister. And I said, come with us. And women, they don't get that they don't generally go to they don't talk to guys that often. They have very, very big respect and submission. Well, after I left, it turns out she actually approached her father and said, I want to go with this missionary. I know that you brought me to the city to protect me and stuff, but I want to go with them. Dad, can I go with them? And the father said, okay, yes, you can go. And they said, but they have to pick you up over here. We're at my workplace. And so we went and picked her up. She's only 20 years old. 20 years old. She's an educated girl, though. Learns English. The father's really teaching her how to be a progressive woman. He brings us into his office, and he shuts the door. He says, I want you to know that I was ministering, and I just got shot. He showed us, I just got shot a few days ago. He said, and I know that sending my daughter out there with you is probably the most dangerous thing I could do. But I know that God is with you, and I can't hold my daughter back. How many dads would say that today? I mean, come on. He knows that his daughter, when we go into the bush, I always tell Andrew and the guys in the car, you keep watch on these Congolese girls, the translators that are females. Because, we even have them sit on the inside a lot of times of the car, because if a rebel comes over, opens the door, they're not going to take me. They're going to take those girls. And so we keep them on the inside of the car just to make sure that they're safer. But how many fathers have that kind of faith to do that? To me, that's the glory of God. To have that kind of faith and say, I'm sending my daughter with you. I see the call on her life, and I'm not going to hold her back. But protect her, please. protect my daughter. I just got shot, and I know the realities of it. And it's okay for me, but I'm sending my daughter. She's my little girl. That is the glory of God. And I believe that is what God wants this church to have. And the only way to do it, how do you keep your lamp lit? Dying to yourself. That's dying to yourself, saying, my little girl, I send you. I send you. I send you, my little girl. Putting your hands, in the middle of everything, someone comes over, you go over and you give them your undivided attention. That's dying to yourself. Tattered clothes, whatever. Going out, being like those who you sometimes despise. Going out to those protests and going to the other side and listening to the Democrats. Listening to them and saying, I don't believe it, but I love you. Like, I love you. You can be angry at me, but I don't want to be angry at you. My trust is not in this government. My trust is in God. It's in God. That is dying to self, and that is the glory of God that you guys are meant to see, and it's a choice, as is mentioned in Matthew 22. It is a choice. Many are called, but few are chosen. And you can choose to be chosen by going ahead and making yourself available. So, thank you so much for this time here. If you guys are interested in supporting us, I want to tell you a few ways that you can. We are raising currently money for a training center, worship and training center. We're not even calling it a church. Just get rid of that religious spirit over there. But we're going to read the Bible. We're going to pray. We're going to train people. You so whatever you want to call it. I think it's a church, but we call it Worship and Training Center, where people are going to be trained, and basically we're going to send people out, reproduce ourselves, and send those Congolese out to go and minister. And so that's what we're raising money for. We're looking at about $100,000 by February. Also, we're looking to raise our base support. We're about 50% of our base budget, but my husband and I, we want to start a family. We actually want to adopt a Congolese. And so we're looking at monthly supporters. So if you have a heart, if there anything touched you, let us know if you want us to commit monthly, because there's a way to do that. Also, if you have a pioneer spirit and something jumped out of you when I was talking about traveling those roads, something jumped out of you, I want you to talk to us, because we want people to come. And so you might be called to come. And then the very, very last thing is, if you know anybody else, we only know so many people, but you guys know other people. We will sit down with anyone and share this vision. So if you know someone who really, you say, no, I feel like this person is called to missions, I feel like they might be good to add to your team, hook us up with them. Or you say, I know this person, I don't have a lot of money, but I know this person that does. My sister, my brother, she has a heart for God, and you can sit down with her and share it, and I think that she's going to be able to bless you guys. Hook us up with those people. So there's some ways you can help us out. Thank you.